Good morning, I'm Untitled Chapter political reporter Henry Cook, and I'm just going to go through another little walkthrough of the Parliament protest, much like the one I did a few days ago when someone tried to stop me going in. I'm currently just as we're getting ready on Mausier Street, where there was, which is kind of just along the north side of the beehive, where there was a lot of cars parked last week, but now after quite a few different police operations, there is kind of a completely clear lane down here. This lane was totally blocked up with cars. This alleyway up along the side of the beehive is still blockaded by the protesters, but as you can see, traffic is flowing normally down Mausier Street, which it was not doing earlier on. People were also camping at this lawn out across the way, across Turnbull House, and that is now that's been cleared as well. You can see there was also cars parked here, which is an emergency exit from the beehive basement and a kind of emergency bunker. There were cars parked and blocking the fire hydrants, but people moved. Morning, how are you guys? You too. There was cars parked here, but they've been moved. The fire and emergency pretty quickly. Just a little bit, so they can get their hoses in. Yep, so we're just through one of these blockades now. These blockades are what the police are using to contract and keep the protest in. The idea is that basically people can still drive their cars out. They'll move and let you drive out, but they will not let you drive back in. So as people leave to, get more supplies and that kind of thing, slowly the protest shrinks. And it is shrinking. There's a lot less cars, quite a few less tents, more or less cars than anything around. We're just down at the Centre right now. And you can see there's a little tent for Calliston, it seems. And you'll note there's a sign that says alcohol-free zone. The whole place is supposed to be alcohol-free, but there has been some drinking. I was listening to a meeting yesterday and they were talking about kind of an agreement to stop drinking, but I've seen people discussing going to get mixers. There was some video that came out yesterday of a fight where people clearly look to be, if not drunk, on some kind of drugs. So it's not like that said, it's not like it's, there's rapid drinking all the time or anything, but there is obviously some. So yeah, we're down here at the Centre, which is still surrounded by cars and tents. Less so than it was. Those steps go up to the beehive and Parliament grounds. It's been covered in a lot of graffiti, a lot of chalk messages about various things. There was some big light up signs that said freedom. I'm not sure where they've gone. They were there last week. Real festival vibe then. Just walking around down here at the Centre. Over here you can see Vic's Law School. It's the old government house. It's that wooden building with the red roof over there. Hope you guys can hear me fine. Just if I need to talk louder, just say in the comments. Not on my headphones, which as I was the other day when the sound was really bad. So hopefully it is better than that. So you can see the Centre. There was some kind of shower set up in the grass of the Centre and campsite, but they took that down pretty fast. They were quite quite aware that people really saw that as a little bit disrespectful, more disrespectful than some of the other stuff that was going on, and that it kind of hurt the message as there. Now I can see this barricade. There was a lot of action at this barricade last night because, as I understand it, the protesters managed to actually get these barricades up on wheels, one of them at least, and move them out of the way so more cars could come in. And just once again, the whole point of the barricade sort of collapses. You can leave, but you can't come back. Kind of like a gig. Some gigs, you can't come back in. Sorry about the wind. It's making it hard to hear me. So now this barricade, after a big operation, is doubled at some points, and it looks like they're actually off the pallets, so they'd be very hard to get up. But this is kind of the edge of the protest. This is just on the end of Lapton Quay at a bus terminal at Mausier Street. If you turn around over here, you can see there's a lot less cars than there were last week when this place was almost jam-packed. We're having trouble.
What are you doing?
I'm just live streaming. Walk around.
Where are you from?
I'm from Stuff, I'm a Don Post.
What?
I'm from Stuff, I'm a Don Post.
What's that?
the local paper, the Dominion Post.
Oh, bro, get out here with your stuff. You're not going to come around here recording anything and then put on your fella's paper.
Wait,
no, get your out of
we've
here.
had a lot of people say that
I don't
it's
care.
okay for us to walk around, visit the streets of Wellington. We're fine to walk around here.
Yeah, but not with your
organisers-
fella's phone and recording what's going on around here and
You've been
and
telling
then
us that
writing
you
your
want media.
fella's down, bro.
You've been telling us that you want media to come in here repeatedly.
Not your
Security
fella's
has said
written stuff.
repeatedly that it's all good for media to come in.
Not your fella's written stuff that your fella's put out there that's propaganding us.
Look,
That's propaganding us, bro. That's what you're doing. It's your fella's
that
and
we're
manipulating
media,
words.
we're
I know
absolutely
you.
fine.
Of course, the security's going to let you fellas through. That's what we're here for. All right? Let everybody be safe. But when
Yeah.
you fellas
I'm
go and
with
write your that's what you fellas
the
put
public-
on
this
there.
is the public
Bro,
road, mate.
when you write your when you write your that's bro. That's so you get the out of here. Sorry my language, but bro, you get.
This is the public. This is the public
I
road.
don't care about the public road. Well, I do. That's why I'm here. Your that you printed afterwards is not. It's not. Nah. Get your out of here, bro.
We keep on being told
That
people
doesn't
want us to
matter,
come
mate.
down.
That's what you're going to write down, bro. I already know that.
Okay, so there, as you can see, seems once again not very happy to have people walking around live streaming. I'm sorry about the language you heard on that. I would have just probably kept going in. I said it the other day, but probably slightly more aggressive than that one was the other day. So I didn't quite want to stir him up more. I will walk back in. I'm just currently walking around the perimeter. Hopefully that run into him again. Yeah, so that was just me trying to walk on the road on that key for the protest that supposedly wants media coverage. Using the cell phone recording is not all good. Anyway, speaking of that lady who if anyone was watching the other day, the lady who tried to kick me out of the protest, she actually came out to me yesterday and apologised. Saying basically she wanted to check when she was here it was okay for me to come in. She came and apologised. I said thank you for apologising. I appreciated that. So yeah, there is people here who clearly do not mind having the mainstream media come around. We're just under we're just around the back of law school currently, the Victoria University Law School. A lot less tents there, but still quite a few. Was it really less? No, the grass is still pretty tinted up. Hey. And this street has a lot of cars that are seemingly involved in the protest, but I guess are legally parked in angle parks. So they haven't been moved on or anything. But it's fair to say there's definitely a presence of the protest here, while I don't really control this area, which is why I guess no one's yelling at me. For going. Some chalk on the walls of the old law school now. This is our government house. So the other day, supposedly it's the largest wooden building in the Southern Hemisphere. Not even really sure if that's actually true or just one of those things we say about New Zealand without everyone wanting to fact check. There's a lot of this about freedom for children. Interesting, there's not actually any vaccine mandates that cover under 12s. A lot of people seem to think that they're going to suddenly force people to get jabbed, their under 12s jab, but it's not actually the case. What is true though is that kids who are 12 or over, some of them can't do some things. They can still go to school, but they can't do things like sports because of mandates, and that has clearly riled some people up. And Chris Hipkins actually says he's going to look at that because I think the government itself might think that one's a little bit too far. Now the cops actually came down here and towed some of these cars on this island here. There still says there's one car parked, but there was
Yeah, I'll show you one.
some cars towed.
The car got towed yesterday.
Yeah, on Carliston, right? I saw that.
Yeah, and watch this. I got the cops this morning doing it from the same place, man. Until I come over, I grabbed some.
Do they come over here and...
They were over there. Now, I did a video because yesterday they took a car from there, eh? They took this. Oh, not yesterday. They took a truck from Southland Road.
Sorry, I'm just live streaming. Can I talk to you for...
Oh, sorry.
No, you're all good. Do you want to talk for a bit? I'm from staff. My name's Henry Coat.
Oh, yeah, man. So I videoed them. And they were doing nothing, and I turned around to show everybody that there's no emergency.
Yeah.
I'm more about helping the fellow got his ute towed.
Oh, yeah. All good. Have a good day. So here we have the barrier as established now. As I said, this is another one of these barriers where you're allowed to drive out but you can't get back in. If I'm not sure. Yeah, so these ones are on pallets, so they use forklifts to pick them up. But the main way you drive out, there's actually one at the end of Lapland Quay where there's just a cop car blocking, so if you drive up, the cop car will move and that'll let you through. So we've got another boundary down here. Lots of tooting as people come past to support the protest, flags waving, usually quite a few people here. And down here quite a lot of people still tenting through here. Oh, so this is just in between two Victoria University campuses, the Thorndon House where the business school is. They've been closed, I think, until April. They've still got some security around. Still quite a few people camping down here. Not much clearing out yet here on all of the bits of grass and on concrete. You're obviously tying things to things. So as you can see, we're down back on Lapland Quay, the bus terminal now, and there's been a lot of clear out here. Not quite so much that buses could be coming through here again, but seems like a lot of people. Oh, I'm going to decline. Someone who's trying to go live with us, sorry. Lots of tents down here around Rutherford House. Sorry, not much content down here though. And this dairy is still open. They've got a sign saying to support the dairy. I'm sure the dairy owner is used to people not wearing masks, so those people are. This car, I've seen this car is quite beat up, and I wonder if some people, I know people have been looking up WAFs. I've seen the cars are WAFs. I'm wondering if some people are driving cars they're basically going up on and just leaving them here. This is a kitchen sink someone set up, and there's showers at the kind of closed off bus stops over here with the tarps. As to why I tell anyone from the media, I mean, it's true that technically, you know, it's a public place, I don't need to, but it's just generally best if you do when you're a journalist, just let people know we're talking to a journalist, so later on they can't kind of, you know, and if they say anything that's interesting, it's not like you're tricking them into saying it, they know you're a journalist. If you say you're a journalist, people should assume that, you know, things that are said are on the record unless it's tuned out otherwise. So this is kind of the main in and out barricade. You can see here that you can get out if the cop car moves, and it's been where a lot of I was just sitting here the other night and watched two cars just drive out, and there's been clearly quite a few cars driving out most days. So this is the main way out. Cops don't give you a fine or anything, they'll let you drive out, but they'll let you know as you drive out that you won't be coming back in before. As you can see, quite a lot clearer down at this bus terminal now. Still not quite so clear, but they could have people back. It's not going to be doing that today. I don't think it's going to be doing that tomorrow, but there is a bit of a clearance. And here we have another little barricade at the end of Cape Chepin Place. This is the Thistle one of New Zealand's oldest pubs. Used to be coast. Hey mate, how are you? Which used to actually be the shoreline, which is why you can see we kind of head down. I mean, it's why Lapland Quay was originally kind of actually a wharf. Here's a big pile of rubbish. They've had to walk this out. They were coming in and, you know, getting vans and trucks and taking it out. There was a little bit of kerfuffle, or you say not kerfuffle, but a bit of confrontation with cops because they weren't allowing them to drive a van in here through this barricade and let vans come in, take rubbish out and take supplies in. So they are kind of using the barricades to siege them in a little bit, if that makes sense. But I did check yesterday, they are letting them come in and service the Portaloos. So there is some level of, I guess, action on that. So we're just walking down Kate Shepherd Place right now. Hey buddy. Sorry? Yeah, they tried to kick me out, yeah. How you been here for a while?
Yeah, bro, I've been here for last Monday.
You want to chat on my live stream or you're good? Okay, have a good day. So we're just going down Kate Shepherd Place, which is, they've got a barricade on, but there's actually not really that many cars. There's not really any cars actually blocking the road here. Mostly just people in the proper car parks or camped on the pavement. We're surrounded. This is where the Ministry of Environment is and the Ministry of Justice. Both of those people are basically, I think, working behind as much as possible, and obviously all the cafes and whatnot are shut around here. Just heading back onto Mausier Street now, and we'll see if we can get into the actual Parliament grounds. There's quite a few folks that get there on the pavement outside the High Court. It's the dockway, the backbench. People were using that to cook and stuff for a while, but I think it's kind of stopped now. Backbench is still closed, though. Over guy, the backbencher, has changed his tune to one of the protests. He now wants the government to come and negotiate with them. Hey mate. So now we're just on Maldives Street. This is where one of the main areas. Hey mate, how are you? Do you want to chat on a live stream about how everything's going today and stuff? Hey? You want to have a chat on live stream about how everything's going and stuff today? You don't have to.
Oh,
Oh, good. Have a good day, mate. So we're on Mausier Street. This road's been quite blocked for quite a while now. But it's right in front of Parliament. You can see the people up there, still pretty thick and dense occupation here. They're not going to be gone from here anytime soon. And the vehicles are providing a lot of kind of continuing infrastructure, right? Like you can charge your phone, you can sleep in there if it's raining, keeping your stuff there. There's this horse float with a picture of Jacinda Ardern in prison, and a lot of talk messages around it, like many things, freedom, pedophile governments, that kind of thing. You know, big mixture of kind of fairly banal messages about freedom and conspiracy theories. I'm set up around on Mausier. This is where there was quite an altercation yesterday with the cops. Morning, how are you? This is where the cops tried to kind of push forward so they didn't actually take the line, and then a car tried to drive into them, but stopped just before it got there. There was also, I should say, cops were pretty aggressive too. There's a video yesterday of someone with their, it looks like they're getting pretty beat up and they've got a pretty bruised face afterwards, so it's not quite also not aggressive now. You can see up here on Hill Street, there's another police barrier on Hill Street. It's like a crappy digital zoom. And down here on Mausier Street there's a barrier that's slowly been moving up. Clearly the cops want to really come all the way through and retake down here. I'm not sure about the next 24 or 48 hours. There's still quite a lot of cars here. They're relying more, to be honest, on slow attrition. Just people leaving to get more supplies, or because they have to go to work or something like that, and they're not being able to get back in. And just kind of a slow drain rather than any kind of big rapid push forward. But who knows, you know, they've been doing some pretty aggressive things, I was saying before. I saw someone, I haven't been able to read all the comments, but someone saying something about link to Rupert Murdoch. Stuff is it has no link to News Corp, which is Rupert Murdoch's outfit. Common misconception. I think he did possibly own the Dominion in like the 80s, but we were for a long time owned by another Australian company that's basically the main Murdoch competition in Australia, Fairfax. But they got bought up by Nine, so out of Nine. But then when we weren't allowed to merge with the Herald Commerce Commission, Our CEO bought the company for $1. Basically, the Australians didn't want us anymore. You know, they didn't see a need to have an extra New Zealand arm, and so we're, I guess, independently Kiwi-owned now. Right. So head in here. We're at the Parliamentary Library now. There's another little line that pops up there. People pass. Just to the back of Parliament. The back of Parliament is still a pretty, I guess, policy-friendly zone. Hiya, how are you? Good. Do you want to talk on a live stream? Sorry? Do you want to talk on a live stream? My name's Henry Cook. I'm a journalist of stuff. Oh, just how long you've been here, what you're here for, that kind of thing. Awesome. Sorry, just if you want me to go away at any point, just say.
Yeah, no, that's
So my name's Henry. What's your name?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, nice to meet you. How long have you been here?
I got here on Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Right. And were you Queenstown? Were you considering coming up earlier?
I tried to come up earlier, but just it didn't line up the right way, and then everything fell in place, and now I'm here.
You think you're here for a long while longer?
I packed up my bedroom. I'm here. I bought a one-way flight. I'm here for.
Oh wow, one-way flight.
I want to hug my mom. I'm Canadian. I can't go back to Canada. I can't.
Right.
Because I'm a citizen, but I can't leave without the vaccine. So I haven't hugged my mom in almost 3 years.
So you can't get on a flight without the vaccine, is that your problem? An overseas flight? To leave Canada?
Can't get on a plane, can't get on a bus, can't get on a train. They don't accept negative COVID tests to leave the country. So I'd be a hostage in my own homeland.
Right. So are you more about what's going on in Canada than what's going on here, or is it a dual thing? Same fight.
We're all fighting for the same thing.
It's a global movement, it's not just a New
But
Zealand national
I can't be there,
movement.
so I'm going to show my support here. I got my friends over there. I got friends in a tribe that I've made here. But we're all fighting for the same thing. We all miss our moms. We've had loved ones we've had to say goodbye to that we didn't get to see. I lost 2 grandparents, and I didn't get to say goodbye.
Right.
My people.
I'm very sorry what happened to you.
I am as well, but I'm getting all the signs that this is where I'm meant to be. I'm getting signs from rainbows or whatever that's pointing me in the right direction, that I'm getting the guidance that I should have been here.
Nice Wellington weather, you know, sun shining.
Yeah, exactly. Sun's out. My papa always sends me messages in rainbows. Whenever they pop out, I know that it's him visiting. And my first night here, someone put up a sign here that was called Rainbow Way, and that was just the solidification that I needed to be here and be fighting for my friends and myself and everybody else that's around.
Do you see an end point to the protest? Like, do you see a point where you go, or is it
See any what? Sorry.
an end point? Kind of something that will make you go?
I don't know. I think it's a global movement, right? It's not really going to end. It might end in one place, but it's continuing. The wave is just rushing around the world right now, and everyone's still riding it. We're happy to be here. Lots of us. We're here for the long haul. Look around. We got movie nights set up for the kids. We've got gardens set up. We've got rubbish collection. Like, everybody's pitching in, and there's no ego. Everybody's here just as they are, raw, authentic, and more than happy to be here.
Are you worried about the cops kind of moving in those barriers and not letting people come back in and bring supplies in?
Nah, there's always a way. They can do what they want. They can block us all off if they want, but there's always a way to get in. They're not going to starve us out. They're not going to. That's even more inhumane than the other stuff they're doing. But
And obviously, you could go home if you took the vaccine. What's your reason you don't want to have the vaccine?
what's my which?
Reason you don't want to have the vaccine?
I've never had a flu shot. I've never gotten any other shots since I was in high school as a kid, before everybody knew how bad things could be for your body. I'm in a childbearing age. There's no proof of what's going to happen if I will be able to have babies, if I will be infertile, what's going to pass on.
There's absolutely no evidence that it would make you infertile. You know, my sister just had a kid. She's got 3 shots. You know, a lot of people are having babies who've had the vaccine.
Yeah,
There's any evidence to suggest that it would actually make you infertile?
I mean, there's not much evidence backing on what's going to go wrong with that baby moving forward.
I mean, there's stats on both sides, right?
We don't know about that until babies are born, bro.
I don't know that for myself. That's my personal choice. That I don't. If I want to have a family, just because I don't know what it might do to me, to my body, or to my loved ones, and it's just I shouldn't be forced to take a shot if I don't want to have a shot. I'm not forced for anything else. So why you're not forced for a flu shot? So why are you forced for this?
Does it seem like Canada might eventually open up to unvaccinated people once they kind of through their waves, or does it seem like Justin Trudeau's in there for the long haul with those policies? Sorry, I just don't know much about Canada.
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm trying to be present here. I was first fighting the fight for both because I got my loved ones back home, and that's my home country. But I'm here, and I got to keep my energy here and focus here. But I'm still sending my love out there. It's hard to say. It's hard to say really at this point because everyone's just kind of, they're going to come or they're going to go. We don't really know what's happening.
And are you worried about getting COVID? Obviously that has proven to have quite serious effects on things like childbearing.
I'm not worried. If I get it, and then I'll heal from it. I know I'm pretty healthy, I'm active. I think it will be okay. It's not as bad as it has been. Like not as many people are on ventilators and stuff. I can fight a cold, I can fight a flu. I've had really bad flus where you're down for a few days. Really yuck, it's like a really terrible hangover. But vitamins, sunshine, you got all this stuff. There's doctors if you need help, if you need anything more than just some vitamin D or vitamin D. I sit in the sun all day, soak it up, get all the energy in my body that I need to recharge and heal as it comes. But I'm not concerned. If I get it, cool, then it's over and done with and I've had it.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, thanks so much for your time.
No worries. Thanks for the chat.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks.
Walking down now, just had a chat. I say there's a few people like that. They kind of they're against the rules, and if you talk to them a bit more, it's because they're against getting the vaccine themselves, which I guess makes sense. Why you'd be very against the rules. I've been told many times that lots of people here who have had both shots but are just against the mandates. I've yet to find them, but I'm sure they are here. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's people here who've got the shots who are against the mandate. I don't think they're very prevalent because I haven't met any of them yet. There's a lot more people who are very against the vaccine. Before I walk up to the bit of a kind of a shaded lounge here with sound here. This is the main kind of front. You can see the cops are always kind of a line out here. A lot of signs hung to the fence. So there's obviously, the grass that's usually here is totally gone. I'm not sure what's underneath this, but apparently there's a straw. But if you move through it, looks like it's probably just dirt now. And this is the main stage area, just around the Seddon statue. Some kind of presentation right now.
At least put what poster on so the fence main gate.
As an event organiser, my job comes under the government mandate sit in the hospitality industry. Those mandates prevent me from running my event unless I hold a vaccine passport. And to have the vaccine passport, I had to have 2 courses of the vaccine. I was barred from entering the venue due to that mandate, so it is no longer a choice. It cannot be stated that there is choice to have or not have the vaccine when the choice to not have the vaccine comes loss of freedom.
So that is perfectly
it also cannot be stated on an anti-vaxxer because I have had my childhood vaccine.
Just gonna I'm just gonna walk out because not staying for too long because I'm wearing a mask. This is the Trevor Taylor playground. Tents surrounding it. Quite a lot of childcare stuff going on here. See lots of kids here. Kid safe hub that stays up there. So this is kind of a place where people can drop kids off or at least make sure that the kids are all good. Was a bit of chat in the Facebook group yesterday about people not really feeling safe having their kids here overnight anymore because there was kind of 1 AM streaming matches. That's the kind of thing I think where there will be a slowly sinking lid unless something dramatically changes in terms of the police presence and stuff. Just in that the police are amping up the pressure, that's amping up a lot of people's kind of anxiety and tension. And there's a lot of different groups here that don't agree on things, don't agree on tactics, don't agree on what the demand should be. So the demands are actually they agree on the demands. It's all the tactics that they disagree on. But because of that, there's definitely some arguments about things. Anyway, I'm just not going to stay in here very long because I am masked up, and yesterday while I was in here wearing a mask, bit of an some people got quite agitated, told me to take it off, what was I scared of, Other people said it was fine. There was a bit of a debate, and then someone from behind snapped the mask off, which was very fun. Anyway, I'm just going to walk around here. I'm going to sit down and then answer some of these questions coming in. I haven't been able to see all of them. Walking out here. Up here, back into the centre. Those two asked me to have a chat with people. I just did have a chat with someone. I had a chat with a Canadian woman for about 5 minutes. You can go back earlier on. Proof of that mask thing. I wasn't videoing the back of my head at the time. I don't have the GoPro on at all times, covering me 360. But it did happen. I can just tell you that. That's the best I can really give you there. Anyway, I'm just going to sit down here. I'm just clearing rubbish around me. And got a few questions coming in. Are the police okay? Are still being threatened? I think a lot of the cops, definitely the ones who had urine or human waste allegedly thrown at them on Monday were probably pretty pissed off. No real word on what its stinging substance was yesterday, or whether it might have just been pepper spray from the cops kind of used back on them. Not sure. Show my face. I don't know how to flip the camera around. Sorry, I'm a 29-year-old millennial. I don't know how to use TikTok Live. I'm well enough to flip the camera around. As it confirmed that Steve Bannon is funding this demonstration? No, it is not confirmed that Steve Bannon is funding this demonstration. He has had a relationship with Counterspin, who are one of the kind of very far right media outlets that are here, but there's no evidence that he himself is funding this. I asked you a question: is Jacinda real? Because she does not have a tick mark. Oh, on TikTok, no, she's not real. There is no, I think there's no TikTok account for Jacinda Ardern. She is a real person, though, I'll tell you that. Why did you not? Sorry, the questions are coming a little bit fast. So what are you, anti-vax or vax? I mean, I've had 3 shots, so I guess that can tell you all that. I've had the vaccine's safe. I have seen the evidence solely in New Zealand, 10 million doses. Handful of bad reactions, a few deaths, which is very sad, but if you look at the scale of 10 million doses, obviously that's extremely rare, whereas with COVID we've had, pre-Omicron 2,000 or 3,000 cases and about 20 something deaths, so quite a bad rate of dying. Obviously there are older people and stuff, but it's clearly a lot more dangerous to get COVID than it is to get the vaccine. Do I feel anxious walking through Parliament grounds at the moment? When I definitely have felt a lot less, I definitely felt safer, but there's times where the tension's really up, there's times where it isn't. Obviously that guy, if you were watching earlier on the stream, was pretty aggressive, but basically what I'd say to anyone, try to say to people when they try to stop me is A, for you guys, what a journalist to come in here, B, this is a public space for all New Zealanders, there's no kind of trespass against journalists. Usually Parliament grounds is a free space for Wellingtonians to have their lunch in and walk through, and I don't really respect anyone who wants to stop that happening or respect that authority. I click the share button, I click flip camera. More? Flip camera. Yeah, I'm getting a haircut. It's got a KN95 mask, which I'm using to I'm 40, I can flip the camera. Okay. I think we did, as in the photos of the cop bashing the guys, I think we put video up of the cops going pretty hard at that guy. I'm not sure if we had photos to post. Do I have any idea when the protesters will leave, or are they not going to leave for a little while? I mean, there are some people leaving now. Every day there's probably less, I'd say, but that said, there's a hardcore of people who are definitely here for the long haul. Hey mate, how's it going? A lot of people there who I think will be there for a long while, if not moved on. Probably it's only 100 or 200 people in tents, but they'll be there for a while. Basically there are people in there that deeply believe the government is intentionally poisoning children. Obviously that's not true, but if you believe that, you can see why you'd stay for a long time, right? Is there a lighter crowd today compared to other days? Yes, there was definitely a lighter crowd. There's less people around. The weekend days are the biggest, the Fridays are really big as well, and last week there was quite a festival atmosphere, there's good music, there were much better vibes. Now it's a bit more intense, but less people. It doesn't really smell bad. People keep asking me how bad it smells. It smells bad near Paula, which is what you're saying. And that even there, it's only when it's coming as well. It doesn't smell particularly bad. What have the protesters said about refusing mana whenua or requesting them to leave? You kind of just get like a counterclaim of people being like, oh no, but I was talking to the Iwi and they say this, or you tell them that they've said it and they say, oh, they said that in a news article and we don't trust the news at all, so blah 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 blah, you know. That's kind of where that is. Yeah. I heard they're selling Parliament Festival tickets on Viagogo. Any thoughts? You're wasting your money there. You can just come along. You don't need to buy a ticket. Anyone wearing tinfoil on their heads? There is a guy who has some kind of tinfoil crown. I think it might be a kind of a joke. I don't think he actually thinks there's any radio waves. Although there has been chat of some kind of allegation that there's a radioactive weapon that someone's using on the street. It's hard, to be honest, it's hard to know. Some of the stuff you see, obviously there's like a lot of people here have a lot of different beliefs, and some of the stuff you see are actually people online intentionally trying to make people look crazy and kind of trolling, so hard to know. What are my thoughts on Winston yesterday? Well, I would run at Winston. I've been a political reporter since 2017. I've been a lot. Classic Winston, turning out, charting his name, not kind of going all the way in and saying he believes all these things, kind of saying the mandate should end. He didn't do a speech. He just walked around and kind of said that his basic message was it was, outrageous that politicians had not come down to listen to the people and talk to them, and he was there to listen rather than to speak. Obviously, he refused to talk to media at all. Other than, kind of cryptic statements as he walked around. Ever went down to his favourite Vietnamese place on Ladin Key, where's Charlie. He used to go there during the 2017 coalition negotiations. Obviously a place where you need a vaccine pass. Obviously Winston Peters has got the vaccine. But I think basically he sees an opportunity to make himself relevant again. There's been a bit of political to and fro about how much to engage with this protest. Active that they've chosen probably the most. National kind of skirted the water as well, but all parties of Parliament have put out a statement saying that they won't directly come out and talk to the protest until they clear the roads, basically until the protest is lawful, and that's not been met. Do you think all the protesters are all on the same page, or there's separate groups, different agenda? Oh, there's totally separate agendas. There's a lot of different things going on. It's not... that said, the end of mandates thing, that is probably the key thing. It's like, it brings them together a lot. It really probably gives them the unity of purpose. But there are different groups, different agendas. Some people want to, have the whole government come down. Others, they're not quite all the way there. Some people want the government to, basically resign. Some people want the government to hang, Nuremberg style. So there's quite a lot of that. Is there anything you're not allowed to say? No, I mean, I wouldn't swear on the stream. I feel bad about that, but I'm allowed to say whatever I want. And Stuff FX, yeah, Stuff used to be owned by Fairfax. Fairfax doesn't exist anymore. Now it's owned by Nine, and now Stuff is independently owned by our CEO, Sinead Boucher. That's who owns us. What's the hygiene there like out of 10? No. 6 or 7. I've been to festivals with worse hygiene. Can you walk around the War Memorial here at Bay of Face that? There was a lot of chalk on the War Memorial, but it's mostly gone now. And the showers or cabs set up there have stopped there. Is it true free police working there have tested positive? I don't know about free, but I know that quite a few police have tested positive, have been working here. Not confirmed that it came from here though. There is still a lot of COVID around New Zealand now, so they could have got it from anywhere else as well. People are replying to the Jacinda Ardern account, which is clearly not actually Jacinda Ardern, to be clear. Not engaged with that account. Can we have a tour, please? We'll put the full video up. We've had a walk through, so you can watch that again once this is up a bit later. How long have we been going? I might tie this up now. Any final questions? Put them in now. Sports and harassment of college and uni students, obviously terrible. You know, people should be able to go to people should be able to go to sorry, I'm swearing. People should be able to go to university without having anyone abused them or schooled. Sorry? No, just finishing up here. Cool. I'm gonna go. Thanks so much for, and hopefully we'll do another live later on this week. Cheers.